Black Ops. You see it. Let's get it. iPhone apps abuse iOS push notification to collect user data. That iOS push notification is stealing your data behind the scenes. Let's check on your privacy in this article. Numerous IO apps are using background processes triggered by push notifications to collect users' data about devices, potentially allowing a creation of fingerprint profiles used for tracking. According to mobile researcher Mysk, who discovered this practice, these apps bypass Apple's background activity restrictions and constitutes a privacy risk for iPhone users. So once again, they're collecting your data in a background process you don't know. So once again, they're tracking you across the internet. So let's keep reading. Apps should not attempt to bypass or build a user profile based on collected data. They may not attempt to facilitate or encourage other users to identify anonymous users or reconstruct user profile based on data collected from Apple provided APIs or any data that you say has been collected in an anonymized, aggregated, or otherwise non-identifiable way. Reads the section of Apple App Store review guidelines. After analyzing what data is sent by iOS background processes when receiving or clearing notification, Mysk found that the practice was far more prevalent than previously thought, involving many apps with a considerable user base. Wake up and collect data. Apple designed iOS is not to allow apps to run in the background to prevent resource consumption for better security. When not using an app, they're suspended and eventually terminated so they can't monitor or infer what your foreground activities are. In iOS 10, though, Apple introduced this new system that allows apps to quietly launch in the background to process new push notifications before the device displays them. The system allows apps that receive push notifications to decrypt the incoming payload and download additional content from their servers to enrich before it's served to the user. Once this process is done, the app is terminated again. Through testing, Mysk found that many apps abuse this feature, treating it as a window of opportunity to transmit data about a device back to their servers. Depending on the app, this includes system uptime, locale, keyboard language, available memory, battery status, storage usage, device model, and display brightness. So those are some of the things you can see on the screen that they were collecting: location, LinkedIn, the cookie data right there so they can track you. The researcher believed this data can be used for fingerprinting slash user profile, allowing for persistent tracking, which is strictly prohibited in the iOS. Our test shows that this practice is more common than we expected. The frequency at which many apps send device information has been triggered by a notification is mind blowing. He explained in a Twitter post. Mysk created a following video displaying the network traffic exchange during the reception of push notifications by TikTok, Facebook, X, formerly known as Twitter, LinkedIn, and Bing. So I'll put that link in the description. The apps were found to send a wide range of device data to their servers using services like Google Analytics, Firebase, and their own proprietary system. Bleeping contacted Microsoft, X, Apple, TikTok, and LinkedIn about their apps retrieving user data, but no reply was immediately available. Mitigating the issue, Apple would plug the gap and prevent further abuse of notification wake ups by tightening restrictions on the user API for device signaling. Mysk told Bleeping Computers that starting in spring of 2024, apps will be required to declare precisely why they need to use the apps that can be abused for fingerprinting. These APIs are used to retrieve information about device, such as disk space, system boot time, file time and stamp, active keyboard, and user default. If the app does not properly declare their use of these APIs and what they're being used for, Apple say that they will be rejected from the App Store. Until that happens, iPhone users who want to evade this fingerprint should disable push notifications entirely. Unfortunately, making notifications silent will not prevent abuse. To disable notifications, go to Open, Settings, head to Notifications, select the app you want to manage notification on, tap the toggle to disable Allow Notifications. In December, it was revealed that governments were requesting push notification records sent through Apple and Google servers as a way to spy on users. Apple said the United States government prohibited them from sharing any information on these requests and has since updated the transparency report. So once again, the government's requesting those metrics too, because I guess the government's going to start doing search warrants so they can track you down. Once again, Professor Black Ops, please subscribe, watch those push notifications. They're tracking you across the web. Professor Black Ops, please subscribe.